Chaudhary sir. My name is Leela Prasad, and the title of my paper is Analysis of Nuclear Based Electric Power Generation System, an LCA approach. My affiliation is with Vigyan Institute of Technology and Science, India. The co-authors of these papers, this particular paper, Dr. P. Ushasri, Dr. K. Vijay Kumar, they are the PhD guides. They are my PhD guides. Nuclear-based electric power generation system is basically steam power plant, but the source of thermal energy is controlled nuclear fission of nuclear fuel within a reactor. Here, there is no combustion of carbon-based fuel. The energy derived here is called as nuclear power, and it is considered to be a conventional source of energy as well as alternative source of energy. But it does not fall under the category of renewable source of energy. It is a mature technology, a century-old technology, and large-scale implementation of this technology is possible, unlike renewables. Due to large initial investment on the system and risk premium involved in the fuel cost, nuclear power is usually 10% more expensive than coal. And we are aware of nuclear disasters in recent past, that is Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, and at a power plant in Chernobyl, and at another power plant in Long Island. So these accidents are putting a question mark on the future of nuclear power as source of clean energy. There is a claim that this particular system has very high low carbon advantage. So here I made an attempt to carry out the holistic study of the entire system by using LCA methodology. The energy performance of this system I'm expressing in terms of predefined energy metrics such as energy return ratio and energy payback time. And the environmental impacts I'm expressing in terms of global warming potential. These investigations help energy planners, policy makers in developing countries to compare various power generating options and plan for future investments in power sector to meet the ever growing demand for electricity in a cleaner and more sustainable manner. Methodology. LCA is an analytical tool, and its definition, fundamental concepts, methodology, and applications are described in 14,040 to 14,049 series of standards. It evaluates both energy performance and environmental impacts of a system over its life cycle, or a product or a process by following cradle to grave approach. Sometimes net energy analysis of a system in conjunction with the evaluation of systems environmental impacts are usually referred as life cycle assessment. The application of life cycle assessment, the green labeling of products, identification of process improvements in the method of electricity generation, comparative assessment of various methods of electricity generation. There are 4 stages in life cycle assessment methodology, and it is sometimes called as 4I technique. Initiation is also called as goal and scoping, inventory analysis, impact assessment, interpretation of results for improvement. there are many softwares that are available in the market to carry out LCA studies, and those softwares are listed in this particular slide. And my study uses ScimaPro as software with EcoInvent as a database. The goal and scope. The goal of this particular study, or the aim of this particular study, is net energy analysis of the system, and also to identify and quantify the environmental releases associated with a pressurized heavy water moderated nuclear reactor based 650 megawatt electric power generation system. The functional unit here is 1 kilowatt hour of electricity produced by the system. Time horizon is, or the lifetime of the system is 30 years. Now, the most important part of life cycle assessment is inventory analysis. To identify the inventory, that means the inputs and outputs in each phase of the system. The inputs might be directly the electricity, or the materials, or the subproducts. All of them can be inputs, and outputs can be energy, or it can be emissions. Now, in inventory analysis, we will create a process flow diagram, and that forms the blueprint for inventory data to be collected. Now, you can see the system is modeled on a LCA software, that is ScimaPro, and the modeled system is run by using a method called cumulative energy demand. And you can see in this particular slide, the electricity generated here is 1 kilowatt hour, and the energy inputs required to generate 1 kilowatt hour of electricity is 15.9 megajoules. Now, the same modeled system is run by using IPCC, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, Global Warming Potential 100A method. And after running the system by using this method, I came up with global warming potential of the system for 1 kilowatt hour of electricity generated is 15.7 grams of CO2 equivalents. Now, the same thing already I have discussed about methods that is presented in this particular slide. Now, when the system is modeled and run by using cumulative energy demand method, the impacts on energy sources is represented in form of a graph, and it is obvious from the graph the more impact will be there on non-renewable nuclear energy resources, and some impact will be there on non-renewable fossil fuels. Now, the results are expressed in terms of predefined matrix. First one is energy return ratio. Here it is functional unit divided by cumulative energy demand. Here functional unit is 1 kilowatt hour of electricity, and cumulative energy demand is around 15.9 megajoules. And the energy return ratio calculated here is 22.6%.
Dr. Prasad, you have 1 minute again.
Sir. Sir, please. Sir, you want to ask some question? Are you able to hear me, sir?
No, please go ahead. You have 1 minute again.
Okay. So, to avoid any valuation issues, here the output is electricity, but the input is primary energy. So, to avoid any valuation issues, I have converted functional unit into primary energy terms by using a conversion factor given by World Energy Council, London. Now, when I recalculated the energy return ratio, I got around 60%. Now, here EPBT is not applicable to this particular system because we are giving fuel energy as input. EPBT is only applicable to those systems having only indirect lifetime energy inputs like renewable systems. Now, the greenhouse gases emitted by the system throughout its lifetime is
Dr.
expressed.
Prasad, your time is up. Please wrap up.
Sir, here the greenhouse gases emitted by the system, 1 minute please sir, is expressed in terms of CO2 equivalents per functional units of the study, and it is expressed as global warming potential. Here it is 15.7 kg CO2 equivalent per kilowatt hour. Now there are many limitations about this particular methodology, and all the limitations are expressed here. And the conclusions are this system has better environmental performance and this system has better energy performance when compared with systems operating with coal, oil, diesel and natural gases as fuels. Now, so this system or electricity generated from this system can be taken as alternative because of better energy and environmental performance. But I am not an exponent of nuclear power, but this system can be used as an alternative provided proper safety mechanisms and after end of the life disposal scenarios are in place. Now these are references for my paper. Now I will conclude this paper. Thank you so much, sir, and I am open to discussion now.
Thank you very much, Dr. Prasad.
Yes.
Are there any questions?
Yes, there's a question from Dr. Richard Bechu. Was the approach able to identify any processes or inventory that could have been further optimized to obtain a higher energy return ratio?
Sir, here fuel cycle consumes more energy, sir, and it emits more emissions. So all the process in fuel cycles must be optimized to get the better energy return ratio as well as environmental performance in form of global warming potential. For example, if I want to enrich the nuclear fuel, it is very much energy intensive process. Centrifuges we have to use to enrich the nuclear fuel to increase the percentage of fissile material like U-235. So fuel cycle, all the process involved in fuel cycle must be optimized to have better energy performance and environmental performance.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Dr. Prasad.